Kyle Mazer here for KMMphoto.com. Had an interesting question that I kind of raised to myself after someone kind of mentioned it in a forum. And the issue is this: if you're shooting raw, does white balance really matter? I went to a seminar a number of years ago with Mike Colon and Bob Davis, and the first thing that they taught us to do was to change your white balance and make sure that your white balance matches the scene that you're shooting. And as a rule, it's the first thing I do when I go out and I shoot. Um, but then again, if you're shooting raw, can't you just adjust it and will everything be fine? So here's what I did to test it. I took 3 shots. Okay, I took a blue shot at 2500 Kelvin, a yellow shot at 10,000 Kelvin, and what I would consider to be a normal white balance at 5500 Kelvin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change each of these images so that the Kelvin number is exactly the same, and see if there's any difference in exposure, or anything else for that matter. So let's go to the blue one here. Let's bring up our adjustment HUD here. In fact, let's just go to full screen because I'll probably end up in full screen anyway. So, whoops. There we go. All right, so here's my Kelvin number. We'll change it to 5500 Kelvin. And then we'll go to our next image. Change that as well. And then let's just double check and make sure. Oh, this one's slightly off. All right. So I've taken all 3 of those images and they are now all at 5500 Kelvin. So what we'll do, let's get rid of the adjustment HUD for a minute. And let's go back to the beginning here. I already see a difference. Ooh, there's a big difference. Wow. More than I thought. So let's take a look right in here at the light here. Let's zoom into right here at the light. Okay. Because I was more interested in the highlights in terms of the exposure, but I saw something else that changed which I didn't expect. So here's the original shot at 2500 Kelvin. Here is the shot at 10,000 Kelvin, and then here's the shot at 5500 Kelvin. Now again, I did change all of them so that they are all exactly the same. And if you look at this one appears to be slightly more green. This one appears to have slightly more magenta. And then this one is slightly more green, which is, I guess, closer to the blue one. Let me just compare the blue one with that one. Interesting. They look pretty close. But I can tell that this one over here, which is the blue one, if you look down here, I keyworded it so it was the blue one. This one right in here appears to have more detail than right in here, which was the one that I shot at 5500 Kelvin. That's interesting. And this one appears to be slightly brighter than this one in here. Or, no, maybe it's just this one has more contrast. I guess the point is that does it affect it? Absolutely it does, which is interesting. So let me just pop out of here for a minute and look at the overall change in pictures. And what I saw when I was flipping through them just before was right in here with the trees here. If you look at the way this changes, this is the 55. I'm sorry, this is the 2500 Kelvin shot, and look at the difference in the trees right here. You can see there's a giant color change, and my dog is yawning. Apparently, she's tired. All right, and then here's 5500. So here's the 5500, 10,000, and then 2500. So does white balance affect your raw file? Absolutely it does, even after you go through and adjust it. So my recommendation, the first thing you do when you enter a room is figure out what your white balance temperature is right away. And the second thing you do is figure out what ISO you're going to be shooting, and then worry about your aperture and shutter speed later. Anyway, dog's awake, so I got to sign off. Hope all is well, and have a great day. Kyle Mazer for KMMphoto.com. See ya.